we are breaking down The Guy Who Makes You Smile.
And it goes a little something like this.
Hey, Lemon. Okay.
Because she's sour.
Why such a sour face, Lemon? Not Liz Lemon from 30 Rock.
Not Liz
though.
Lemon.
Yes, okay. So if you have not heard this song, go and stream it. Go and stream it or buy it. Are you an iTunes person? Go buy it on iTunes if you want, or stream it on Apple Music or on Spotify and listen to it. Because we're not going to sit.
Support local artists.
Yes.
That's what we're saying.
That is definitely what we're saying. So we're going to go through this song and tell you some behind the scenes things of like choices that were made. We're going to have different views here so you can like see the Logic Pro session and all the tracks that are in here, and we'll like go in and solo some different things and talk about like different sections of the song. And it's gonna be super fun to do that. So
Super fun.
What we're gonna start, I think, is let me just tell you how this one started. So I wrote this song like maybe in, I don't know, 2010 or 2011 or something like that. And I kind of wrote it because I realized that like everybody has a different personality, and like my personality likes being an entertainer, and there's nothing wrong with that. You need some people who want to be in front of the camera people, and you need some people to be behind the camera people. And I like being an in front of the camera person, hence this video. And so I kind of wrote this song about just like, hey, I like to be someone who makes you smile. And so that's just part of my personality. So I wrote the song so long ago, and like maybe like 7 years ago, I reached out to Jeff because Jeff and I were friends and roommates in college a long time ago and so he made a track of the song for me. But then our lives got kind of crazy and we didn't follow through with it. And so earlier this year, January of 2024 is the year that we're in now. I was like, hey, remember that thing? Do you want to pick this up and like make something out of it? And he said,
of course I do.
He said yes. So we were like, at the beginning, we're like, let's just do that song and maybe like a song or two more and just see if it's fun and see if we like doing it. Anyway, spoiler alert, it turned into a whole album like 9 months later. But that's why that song started. And so, The Guy Who Makes You Smile. Okay. So here's a little of the demo. I'm going to play you just a little bit of this because I just play it on the piano and I sang, and this is what I sent to him. Let's see. Play. It's very... Get ready to play that again. Okay, so that turned into... We're like... My piano turned into pizzicato strings. Hey, lemon. Yeah, okay, cool. So like
and
the piano...
Your O-Os turned into me sounding like chipmunks.
Sounding like chipmunks. So that's you doing the O's.
That's me doing the
there.
O's on this one.
But with like a sort of like filtery kind of thing on there.
Yeah, filtered in octaves. A normal octave and then a chipmunky octave.
Okay. A chipmunky octave. Love that.
Did you know that you can run Logic like an actual tape player and change the speed of it? So that it doesn't sound like you've time compressed anything. Like like this song's at 113 BPM. So if I slow it down to like 70 BPM and then record myself singing the pitches along with it, when I speed it back up to 113, it'll be like a tape player. So you can sound exactly like the Chipmunks.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Usually the chipmunking is left to me, and in normal parts of my life,
in the natural
any dolphining, chipmunking, the high pitches. But Jeff was like, "Step aside.
We don't need
I'm doing this.
any fairy creatures to make this one."
Like a hula hoop. Okay.
It's very convincing.
Theodore. Okay, so let's. What's the next interesting thing that we have going on?
Well,
here?
okay, so I think I'm just gonna please don't be offended, but I'm just gonna mute your vocals here for a second.
Please do.
And then one of the things that was kind of interesting to me about this song was how do we take this chord progression and build it so that because the chorus and the verses feel very similar chord wise, and I just wanted to do something that was a little bit more modern than just like jamming on chords. So I played all the instruments, and then I went back and sampled all of the instruments and then chopped them up into little tiny pieces and then filtered them like a very bad DJ.
I don't know any of this. This is the first time
you're ever hearing
of
this?
this.
Awesome.
Yes.
Great.
I just know what it sounds like.
And so I went through and you can see here I have piano chords and guitar chords kind of in this little space right here.
Okay.
And I just went through and chopped them up to make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, play it.
There we go. Little tape dive right there.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. And that's like, so you have some sort of like high pass filter or something.
Yeah,
like
some kind of, but it's low and high passed, I believe.
That's sort of like letting more of the higher frequencies come in as it goes through.
And each, I'm opening the low end at a different rate than I'm opening the top end.
That's why it sounds like, and it starts to sound a little bit fuller as it goes on. Interesting.
Totally.
Okay.
And so I did that to kind of build some interest in the track a little bit. But you can really tell a big difference with all the drums in, how it just kind of like makes you really focus on whatever it keeps a lot of room for those pizzicato strings, but you still feel like there's some energy underneath.
If you don't know, pizzicato is like when you play a string and they pluck it instead of use the bow. Pizzicato.
And I also doubled the pizzicatos with a mandolin. I don't know if you know this, but the mandolin and the violin have the same tuning. So they sound really, really good together.
I did not know this.
They have similar body resonances.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And if I'm wrong, somebody correct me in the comments, but I think what I said was true.
Okay, so then we've got the pre-chorus where sort of like the bass and the kind of like kicks in and it goes a little bit, kind of go a little more to a halftime feel to set up
this mood shift here.
Okay, that right there. Stop for a second. So, plays you fix, plays you. So the way that I wrote this had one extra note in the piano. Let me see if I can find it on the demo. Let's see.
Oh, you got a little more walk down to it.
Place you fix your eyes. So when you changed it and you took one of those notes out, my melody didn't work anymore, and we got into the studio, and you were like, it's like place you fix your eyes, and I couldn't do. I was like, place you fix your eyes, and like I almost could not sing that weird half step.
That's funny. I remember that now that you're saying it.
Yes. And so anyway, that extra note is gone, and it's cool that you just sort of like go straight to that sort of weird note, which gives the chorus something a little bit more interesting than just all of the plain chords.
Yeah, well, and I think too, it's kind of interesting that it doesn't resolve.
Right.
Because there is something that's a little angular and jaunty about making someone smile, you know.
Jaunty.
Sometimes it's not really about like letting people feel relaxed if you want to be the funny guy. Right? And so you gotta risk making a fool out of yourself, and having one little obtuse chord in there kind of gave me that little glimmer.
What is that chord? Like, can you go back just a second? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're in C. A flat, right? Yeah. C, E, A, F, C, E, A flat. And I had done A flat, G, C. Yeah, so like it went to that 5 before it went back to the 1. And I love that you were just like, nope, you don't get that. You just A flat, C. Yeah. That's really fun.
No, I like it too because it makes it more sticky to me, and it gets it away from sounding like, sometimes like Christmas songs, like they have like one too many chords in the choruses. Or like every note is a different chord.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
and in pop music, we restrict the vocabulary a little bit for the sake of, earworminess.
Yes.
And sometimes a little rub is a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the verse 2, maybe?
Verse 2.
Is there anything?
I
think verse 2 is probably a good place.
Yeah, let's see.
Or anything you want to do before that?
Here's the post-chorus. Just kidding. Let me bring your vocals back in. That might help a little bit. Let's see what it is that we're actually
so many
forgetting
vocals.
to
How
talk
many
about.
tracks are there? We got 80 in this one.
We have 80 in this one. Some of these are automated buses. But then again, we have like all these things that are like consolidated.
That were multiple tracks
doubles
that are now
with
mixed down to one.
backgrounds, and like here's some backgrounds.
I like to be.
Have attention tonight.
I like to be.
Fix your eyes so you
Can count on me.
put on intervention, 'cause
I like to be the guy who makes you smile.
Oh, I held it out kind of for longer than I was expecting.
Yeah, but it matches the lead.
Okay.
Who makes you smile.
Oh yeah, play the little echo too. You have that tape delay fall off thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the I like to be.
Meow.
A border intervention, 'cause I like to be the guy who makes you smile.
Can you solo that?
I like to be.
So what is that? What is that called?
It's I just call it like a radio track or a futz track.
But what is the
The tape dive at the end.
tape dive?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in Logic, instead of doing a fade out on your audio file, you can select slow down, and it simulates the thing of like a tape doing a little dive at the end, or you can do it as a ramp up or as an out to any audio file. So it'll go like from the top or go from
So
the
that's
end.
slowing it down?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just slowing the audio down and then fading it out.
Okay, I did not know that. That's
I
cool.
like to be.
And it just happens really fast.
slow
I
it
like
down.
to be.
Slow down really fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So, verse 2. I love the background vocals on this because we've got these like.
Ba-da-baz.
I guess it's not at the very beginning. At the first part is when we're quiet, so we wanted the track to be kind of quiet here. So it's like when we're quiet in the middle of the day, I'll stop. It was important to like have the track all like on the word stop, and then right after that, because we're stopping silence, we wanted to put a lot more we needed to put a lot more things to happen there, but it couldn't be so much that it like competed with the pre-chorus or the chorus. So that's what ended up, I think, having these background
These
vocal
little ba-ba-bas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
play
yeah.
just a little bit of that.
When we're quiet in the middle of the day, I'll stop silence and just make him run away.
Nice. Okay, and
Which is just a duplication of these piano and guitar chords that we had up here earlier that were kind of radioed out and kind of fading in over here.
oh. Nice. Okay, I remember that now. Nice.
Yeah, so we were just trying to bring the vocal texture into that same kind of like aesthetic
Yeah.
of like the stuttery, start and
That's
stoppy
cool.
kind of thing.
I also noticed something as we were listening just then. Are you going back and forth between a hand clap and snaps?
There's a lot of weird percussion-y stuff happening up here.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So these are all the drums. In this thing right now, let's just solo the drums and just
Okay.
see what's happening here.
Yes.
Let's see here. Oh my gosh, so many things. Impacts and sound effects and
This is
the
crazy.
kitchen sink of it all. All right.
Okay.
So basically, the way I like to kind of organize the stuff here is I'll do like, not that. All right. I'll do, kick drums and then snares and claps and snaps and then anything else that's an accent underneath here. So you can kind of see like up here we have our kick drum. We have one kind of a snare, and then it's layered with a clap here. We have another clap and another clap.
Wow.
And then, so underneath, we have like kind of like this thing that's like undulating claps where it's like thin, thick, thin, huge, thin, thick, thin, huge as like a rotating pattern. And you can kind of hear a little bit of what I'm talking about. And so they all hit a little different. Let me mute these toms. You can get this hi-hat thing, so you can get a better idea. There's some like weird little Foley sounds happening underneath here too.
Foley is like sound effects.
Foley is like sound effects, and so I have this cute little splice library that's all Foley sound effects. So I have some twig snaps and some other stuff going on.
Twig snaps? Wow. Yeah. No idea. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Any of this happened.
Just a little ear candy percussion-y things.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in here.
Okay.
And then I simulated recording real drums with a good sample library, and then came through and did some parallel like drum smashy stuff to try to make them feel a little dirtier, just to kind of accent on some of those big tom hits.
Huh. Nice.
Intervention, 'cause I like to be the guy who makes you smile.
Okay, so then comes verse 2. We talked about that a little bit more. Then we've got pre-chorus 2, which is
Pretty much.
I would do something crazy. So, okay, this is funny actually.
Your alternate lyric?
Yes, so I wrote this a long time ago, and I had all these different what's in the song now is I would do something crazy so that maybe all the lazies disappearing. I have two things to say about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first is my original lyric was I like to do accents, and so it was I would do an impression of a Russian with a passion boiling over, and I was like gonna try to put a Russian accent in like 3 words of the song.
Moose and squirrel.
It was going to be a very good song for you to listen
Squirrel.
to, but we decided not good for recording. So I was like, no, I gotta write something new for that. So we took that out, and it turned into what it was. But listening to this, I actually remember one of the things that I learned the most in this whole recording of this album process. You taught me that so much of pop music is about cutoffs.
Yeah.
And I never knew that. And so much of this was when we're quiet in the middle of the day, I'll stop. So much of it was like making sure that the ending of each word was like kind of on. You said it differently, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, put the endings of the words also sort of on a beat, so that it lines up with sort of like the tempo of the song.
Yeah.
And we're always trying to figure out how each next phrase had the slight different ending than the phrase before. And not in a way that most people are ever going to notice, but you don't want to be like, so we're quiet. Like I'll do like a at the end, middle of the day. Like I'll do a fall off, I'll stop silence. So like trying to find different ways to do that. And then this, I would do something crazy. What I remember was on pre-chorus 1 and this one pre-chorus 2, I was singing it. I would do something crazy so that maybe all the lazies disappearing. So it was like da 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 da. And you were like, you need to give more energy on those. Make those
on the bends, like
make it 2 notes. So instead of crazy, you wanted me to do crazy. I would do something crazy. And so in my mind, I like, it's like a beautiful mind. I see sheet music. I like see the music notation like on the staff. So I see the D, D, E instead of D, E. I'm like D, D, E. I could do something crazy so that maybe all the lazy's disappearing, but it's all entertaining. So it felt really weird to do it because I felt like I was being overly precise.
Yeah.
But then you listen back to it and it just feels like it has just this extra
It
little bit of
pops.
energy.
Yeah.
It pops.
It's like pop music.
Can you
Kids.
play a little bit of that? Just maybe the pre-chorus there. How about do something crazy?
I could do something crazy so that maybe all the lazy's disappearing, but it's all entertaining because I'm training while I'm training you to love me.
Training you to. So it's like you don't hear it that often, but especially the last one.
Yeah.
Instead of training you to love me. So like it just gives it that extra little oomph to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just locks it in.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we've got another chorus.
Got another chorus. It goes pretty typically.
Yeah, and then
we get into this beautiful bridge with some of the highest singing you'll ever hear on this record. Something like that.
Just
Seeing you smile is like breathing one glimpse, and it's leaving me helpless. It makes my heart skip a beat, puts a step in my feet, makes me believe I can fly.
okay. Let's go back because
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there's actually some. I'm pretty sure there's background vocals that sound like synth tracks.
Yes.
Right?
There are.
They're like, oh.
Because again, we get to this bridge and there's only 3 instruments playing. The rest is all you.
Okay, let's hear some. Like, can we hear just like maybe those like synthy? They're like, oh.
Yeah.
Because you can hear what background vocals are like later on, but at the beginning of this, it's yeah. I literally forgot how all that went. That was really fun. Okay, so now play like maybe the end of that, but add the other background vocals.
Just vocals by himself.
I think just the background. Yeah, just all the
all the
vocals.
BGVs.
Yeah. Yeah, we maybe once it gets more intricate, yeah. What's the step?
I can
Oh, I didn't know that was in there either.
Yeah, the little stutter at the end of that guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's really fun.
Yeah, and it kind of just washes it out really easily because the star of this moment is really this high note that he's singing, but there wasn't a way to like have all these textures and make them meaningful if it stepped on a really high note that you do at the end. Which we're just sending you off into Valhalla. And it just it goes, I think it's like a 20-second reverb or something like that on that note.
Well, you know what's funny is because on the day we didn't know how we were going to sing it. So I just you had me keep doing that and I would like end that note in different ways. So it'd be like, make me believe I can fly. Like I would do that. Or there was one where like, I don't know if I can even do it right now, but like I held it for so long and then I tried to go into like my dolphin whistle tone and it was like, wait. But see, I can't actually hit it.
Exactly.
But there's some pass.
There's a pass in one of our sessions of that. Very well executed.
Of Dying Dolphin.
Yes.
Dying Dolphin. And you smartly decided, what if we just keep just the note?
Let's just sustain the note
and have it just fade off into oblivion, into the beautiful sunset where you don't know that a dolphin has died.
Exactly. No blowholes were harmed.
Okay. Well, this part is so fun. And okay, so this is one of the songs where these next background vocals were part of my original writing of the song. Like, I'll be your center of attention. Like, that was when I wrote the song. I'm like, I want it to go to background vocals, and I want this to be. I loved songs back when I was growing up, where it was like counterpoint, basically. Counterpoint is when there's two different melodies that like overlap each other and kind of play off.
They make musical sense.
Yeah. So like, I knew that the main rhythm of this song was, I like to be your center. So there's a whole bunch of rests in between. Boom. I like boom to be your. So when I wrote this counterpoint, I wanted to make sure that the counterpoint was in those rests, so that when they went together, it'd be like, I like to be your center. So I'll be your. I like be your center, and then they overlap each other on the center of attention. So anyway, most background vocals we made up on the spot in the studio, but this one specific one I had written like 10 years ago, and I was like, it has to be this. Everything else is variable. Can we maybe go to where those two overlap each other and just play the background vocal and the solo maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know if we can to sort of hear better than I could just do both parts live. I don't know if it can get better than that. It can't get better than that.
Okay, Bobby McFerrin.
Yes, let's see.
I'll be your center of attention. I'll be the place you fix your eyes for your boredom intervention. 'Cause I'll be the guy who makes you smile. I like to be your center of attention. And I like to be the place
totally
fix your eyes. Can count on me for boredom intervention. 'Cause I like to be the.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorite things, in that they both just sound like their own fun line that by themselves you wouldn't think that they're going to end up being exactly opposite of each other, so that they just go in and like don't step on each other but complement each other so well.
I really like what all these things wind up doing when they're stacked on top of each other here coming into this last bit.
I can count on me for yeah, you can count on me. I like to be the guy who makes you smile. I like to be your center of attention. I like to be the place you fix your eyes, so you can count on me for boredom intervention. 'Cause I like to be the guy who makes you smile. Bring in a choir to inspire all the world to sing much higher. I would write you a lyric, esoteric, till I hear it lift your spirit. The guy who makes you smile.
Yeah, okay, so what was I going to say about that? That we did so many passes. It was like, okay, just try something else. And actually, I did a whole bunch of ad-libs at the end, and then he mixed the whole thing down, and I heard it all, and a lot of it I liked, but I'm like, there's a couple of these that just, because I was just making it up on the spot that day. And so sometimes my creative juices, just by the end of like 5 hours of recording,
they're pretty pulpy.
Aren't, yes. Tropicana, pure premium, but not premium at that point. It's just called Old Oranges. And so I'm from Florida. I know what that's like. Okay, so I came in the studio.
I was going to say, it sounds like the Golden Girls sequel. Old Oranges.
Yes. So we came back in and tried to do some of those, especially those ad-lib vocals, to fit in the spots a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because guy who makes you smile. By the end of the day, I couldn't sing that very well, and so I did it okay. And I was like, I need to come back and sing that like high E
at the beginning
of a day, and not at the end of the day where I've just been singing that whole time.
Yeah. Where I've just recorded 300 audio files.
As you can see, yeah. The other interesting thing is all those. I would bring in a choir to inspire. We like kind of wrote those. I had some ideas, but those were not written.
Yeah, that was written on the fly.
We wrote those
while we were recording the parts.
Yeah, it was like the ending needs something. What if we come back to that pre-chorus thing? And I had some, because of that whole like Russian thing. I had jotted down some other like kind of rhyming words that I never like fleshed out. So I was like, oh, maybe the choir higher, and like that would bring in another like high note there at the end, just sort of like reminisce.
Yeah.
To a minute ago.
Exactly.
When
Remember that thing I did 45 seconds ago? Well, if it worked once.
Did you forget I could sing a high C? Let me do it again because it's the only song I'm going to do it in. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else on this that we want to get into?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I think we kind of covered everything that we were looking at covering.
Wait. What is? Should I ask?
Oh
no, those are just snaps.
I think those are just snaps.
Those are just snaps.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I was like, those aren't any of my outtakes where I'm doing something.
No.
Those are in the separate vocal.
Those are in a separate vocal folder.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, I think that's good enough for now. So that was The Guy Who Makes You Smile. Now, what is actually funny is there probably are multiple passes of me laughing at the end there. Because in my very first like demo 10 years ago, I was like, I'm going to laugh at the end of this. So we did like, try it again, different laugh. And I was like, okay, I'm just laughing into the mic. That's kind of a fun thing to do in the studio. So anyway, hope you enjoy The Guy Who Makes You Smile. It is from my full album that Jeff and I made together, which is Traveling Light, that you should go and stream. You should share. This is just independently produced. There's no record label. There's no way other people are going to hear it unless you tell people that you liked it and they should listen to it. So enjoy, and I hope that I have made you smile.